Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your humble guest host, the Norgoz. Welcome to the Heroes Hideout podcast, where we get drunk and we bitch about bitch about stuff, and sometimes we talk about video games, and every once in a while, we just talk about what the fuck ever. So I am joined here by my sort of co-guest host, if you will, Highsight, Cage, and Damien. And Nakiato is going to be out. And after our introductions, I will play for you a personalized greeting and salutation from our beloved host, Mr. Nakiato. I am a streamer myself as well as a YouTuber. I'll allow you guys a moment to introduce yourselves. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Hey everybody, I'm Highsight, the one you all came to see. I am a Twitcher. I mainly stream on Twitch, I guess you could say. Do a lot of the indie stuff. This week I had actually done a giant Ludum Dare spotlight, which I'll talk more about that later. It was pretty awesome. And generally speaking, it's a good time. Come on and watch.
I'm Cage, streamer, YouTuber, kind of cosplayer primarily at this point. I've just been playing a lot of GTA this week and been dabbling in Killing Floor 2.
Sounds fun.
And I'm Damien, gamer musician. I've been playing Final Fantasy still and Planetary Annihilation, which is an indie game that's an RTS that takes place on like planets and moons. Cool stuff happens, like you can crash moons and planets and stuff like that, or like launch 300 nukes or whatever. It's got some flaws, obviously. It's got a meta rating of 62, but most people were saying that it's just like poorly optimized, loading screens, and it eats up RAM and stuff like that. But I haven't experienced any of that personally, so.
Flaws is an Uber entertainment game. I shudder to think.
Yeah,
All
right.
Lies.
It's slander.
Right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so I'm gonna play for now a clip from Nakiato. I'm actually gonna turn the volume all the way up so that I can actually hear it, and you guys can hear it, because he has some music that plays, but it's very low and it's subtle. So if I don't turn it up all the way, you're not gonna hear it. So let me do that for you right now. And here is a special presentation from Mr. Nakiato.
Mister.
Here, wench. Over here. Oh! Hey, guys. Sorry, didn't see you there. Hold on one second. Let me just, pause my music. How are you guys doing? As you can see by my surroundings, I am not going to be in town for the next 2 weeks. I am going to be on vacation. That's right. I am going to be absent of all of my YouTube and streaming duties. On a beach. On actually 3 beaches. Taking a Caribbean cruise with the wife. So I'm going to be childless. And yes, I'm speaking of my podcast members. Norgoz, Phyrus, Highsight, Damien, and Cage. They're basically children. I love them. I love them like my own children, though. So there's that. So, over the next 2 weeks, over the next 2 podcasts, don't give them too hard of a time. I don't want to come back and then see that everybody has left and I have to reboot the podcast all by myself. Not again. Not again. But yes. Take it easy on the guys. They'll try and be entertaining for you. As for, the co-hosts, or technically the hosts for the next 2 weeks, Norgoz, Phyrus, all of you, don't ruin it. Don't destroy what we have built. We have the followers. We have people that like us. Just make quality content, people. Just do it. Be funny. It's not hard. But yeah. So, keep on watching the podcast for those guys. If you guys want to throw something in there that is your own, by all means do so. To everybody that is a viewer, have fun, enjoy, and I will see you guys in, well, roughly 3 weeks or so. 2 weeks if you're watching this on the podcast. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Now, if you excuse me, I think the wench is getting back with my beer sometime soon, so I'm gonna sit back, relax, and enjoy the soothing sounds of the beach. Life is good.
All right, and that was a little clip from our host, our main host with the most, Mr. Nakiato. He's going to be on vacation, a seriously awesome vacation from the sounds of it. You know, maybe I'm a little jealous, maybe I'm not. I don't know how I feel about it. But I get to hang out with you guys. You awesome, lovely fuckers, you. And
I'm so sorry,
Me, right?
guys. I'm
It's
so
me,
sorry.
right?
you should.
I'm the one you're hired for, right?
We are all the wizards behind the curtain right now. You have no
And children,
idea.
apparently.
And
Yes,
children.
we are the podcast. We are the children.
Hey man, I got my bottle right here. I'm good. I'm set.
My rum and coke is almost gone. I must fix this later.
Is it your
Seriously?
baby?
Well, and did I make us that late that you had to drink through your first rum and coke already?
Yes, guys, I drink because of you. It's because of you, guys. I love you, guys. Never leave.
That,
Never
that,
leave.
okay. All right. So, you know, I think Damien kind of covered it already. And on what we're kind of playing this week, I'm currently drinking. I wanted to add this in. We get to ask this a lot. What are we drinking? And I'm drinking a Stone Delicious IPA today myself. Delicious IPA is delicious, fuckers. I'm telling you what. This week I've been playing and streaming some Clash of Clans, as well as some Heroes of the Storm. I'm fucking seriously addicted. What about you guys? What have you been doing this week?
As I was talking about before, was doing a Ludum Dare spotlight. So, for those who don't know what the Ludum Dare is,
Yes,
it's a
please.
game jam. Yes, it's a game jam for games, which means a bunch of developers get together and they get 48 hours to make a complete game based around a universal theme. This particular competition's theme was an unconventional weapon. So I was playing games featuring weapons everywhere from lollipops to hair dryers to information. And it was really cool to see a bunch of creative games. I ended up doing about 18 games in a 3-day streaming span, which was pretty insane. So my mind is kind of blown at this point. But it was a lot of fun. And then I ended up doing a special stream last night where I finished off a game that I started streaming last week, System Shock 2. First time ever playing it, right?
I'm
Yes.
sorry. What are you drinking though?
Rum and Coke.
You are okay. I think we kind of validated that a second ago, but I'm just to be sure.
Because of you.
Because of you, because I just want to make sure it's a rum and coke. What are you going to be drinking now? Is the more important question. More rum and coke?
Well, that's a good question. I could break out a.
It doesn't matter what you're going to be drinking, High Sight. Pull out the rock on you. Don't give a shit.
What, you don't want some Angry Balls? Because I think I'm going to be drinking some Angry Balls after this. That
Sounds like
a
a really
lovely
good idea.
hardcore apple cider mixed with some cinnamon whiskey.
That sounds
Angry
like a great
Balls.
idea. Okay.
That
That's
sounds
probably what-
horrible.
It's so good.
Angry
It's
Balls.
like,
cinnamon
it's like
whiskey.
cinnamon apple.
I thought you were
yeah,
just-
I have a bad past with cinnamon liquor. I can't drink it.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. What about you, Cage?
I grew up getting those fireballs as a kid. So for me, when I discovered this whiskey, I was like, my childhood, but with more alcohol. I love it.
I
I'll-
firmly believe that fireballs are just there to remind you not to get a fireball. they like burn your mouth.
That shit put hair on my chest as a kid, though. That's what got me into
It-
realizing this is man territory.
But it's just like, oh look, fireballs. Oh, that's delicious. Oh no! And then like 3 years later, you're like, oh look, a fireball. And then, yeah,
Instant regret, the candy.
pretty much. But if you can suffer through it, the payoff's really good.
Oh yeah, it is.
And the rest of you gentlemen.
And the
I'm-
rest.
I'm drinking. I'm doing shots of peppermint schnapps right now.
Oh, okay.
But I got water. I'm good.
I was gonna say I was expecting you to actually say water.
My boy over there was peppermint schnapps. I'm quite okay
Schnapps?
with this. Schnapps.
Just I'll try to stay as
Sober?
level-headed throughout. Yeah, sober words.
No, Cage.
Through
No,
the
you can't.
show.
He's already gone.
I'll do what I can.
Fine, Cage. You're gonna make all of us look bad. You have to be as sloppy, fucking retarded drunk as you can be.
Oh,
No
okay.
baseline.
Is
Okay.
that what we're doing? I
Apparently.
Is
didn't
that
realize
not
that's
what
what
we're
we were doing.
Damien's already out there. He's like, is that what you
I'm
Anyway,
drinking Angry Orchard. By the
Angry
way.
My
Orchard.
boy.
Ah,
You got half
okay.
of an angry balls right there.
Half
But,
of it.
All right.
I got balls for it, but
Balls of steel. Okay.
Have any of you guys? One of the other things that I actually forgot I was
Oh.
playing the other day.
Right.
There was a new weekly Humble Bundle out. Have any of you checked that out yet?
I
Hmm.
glanced at it. What was in it that you played?
I didn't get a chance.
It's the indie game weekly Humble Bundle. They give you 2 subscriptions to the indie game magazine as well. But the only ones I've tried out so far were Far Sky and Race the Sun. I really want to play Freedom Planet because it looks like a combination of Mega Man and Sonic.
Ooh.
So I'm actually pretty excited for that one. Brawlhalla looks more like Super Smash Brothers, but it's a 2D. But I mean, whatever, Super Smash Brothers.
It's a fun one.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Essentially, you are shipwrecked, but it's submarine wrecked. You were in a submarine that went down, and the story mission is to collect the pieces of your submarine and then put it back together. In the meantime, you have to survive. It's very similar to Minecraft in the sense that you go hunting. You have to, hunt fish, mine for resources. You build a base until you can get a suit that can
Wait,
go
what?
into the depth to get submarine pieces. So it's pretty neat. I got attacked by a shark, and that was terrifying. But whatever.
To those of you guys watching live, sorry that wasn't playing. Okay, there we go. We're good. All right. Okay. So yeah,
Norgoz?
yeah, for our YouTube version is going to be without gameplay for like the past 10 minutes because I failed. I played Play on Windows Media Player. I forgot to close that. That was not what I'm using. So anyway, I failed. So I'm pretty sure I tweeted out, go watch me fail at guest hosting. So this is your tax dollars at work, so to speak. Tax donations, whatever. Anyway.
Wait, we're government
Yeah,
subsidized?
you got your code done pretty well.
Subsidized.
Too many big words. All right, let's get started with why you all came here, and that's of course me. No, not really. So let's get started with the news, and yeah, it's the news. Cage, Damon, you guys
Nope.
don't have any. Okay,
No, we're waiting on a
Okay.
drummer here at this point.
okay, all right. We're
yeah.
working on something special for you guys at this point.
And you guys gotta ask for progress reports, not live.
Yeah, we have a drummer and stuff. She just lives pretty far away, so she's got to come down when we're playing so we can record some stuff.
Yeah,
so.
No worries. We got something in the works for you guys. That's all you need to know right now. All right. So the news. It's time for the news. News. It's the news. Yeah, it's the news. I got to click on my own picture. News! Wake up, motherfucker! Yeah, you got to click on your picture when you're talking. It doesn't make any sense. Penis. For those of you listening, probably didn't make any sense. Just watch 5 minutes of our live version. You'll recognize the chaos immediately. All right, so the big topic this week. Now I believe we talked about this last week. Didn't we touch on this? Yes.
Yep.
We did. We talked about this last week. Valve implemented paid mods for Skyrim last week. If you
And
missed
I
that,
wasn't here to talk about how much I liked it, but go on.
well, if I say obviously, and I gotta click
It
on
wasn't meant to be.
Obviously,
You
yeah.
were the only one that liked it.
I know. I wanted to be the dissenter in the group.
Well, obviously, it wasn't. It was something you didn't miss out on much because this week, guys, our news is Valve cancels paid mods for Skyrim. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So
Sad trombone.
that was, the first thing that comes to mind is, well, that was fast. She never said that to me, but yeah. Anyway, basically, the Valve and Bethesda both released their own statements, and Bethesda's
Time
is
out.
very long, and
Company name, please.
Huh?
What was that company name?
Bethesda. Penis. I added it. Look, their other E is silent, both silent and invisible. Okay, it will creep up on you. Just leave me alone.
I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting. No more booze for you today, sir.
Yeah.
I call for Norgoz already.
I pregame down the road. Okay, I pregame down the road. Leave me alone. Okay. Anyway, here's the deal. To just kind of recap on what that was, the deal which would allow mod creators to sell their previously free work on Steam, was basically Valve and Bethesda taking 75% of the cut. It pretty much pissed people off. I mean, the biggest mod on Skyrim, I don't know if it's still that way now, but the most popular Skyrim mod, it's a protest against paid mods, where basically the character runs around with a sign stamped to his hand. It says no paid mods. Looks like somebody created it in Paint Shop, but it got the job done. It kind of got the message out there. There's just a couple. I'm just going to read one paragraph from it, and I'm going to open it up to discussion. This is a quote from the statement from Valve employee Alden Kroll from the Steam community portal. It reads, "We've done this," canceling paid mods, that is, "because it's clear we didn't understand exactly what we were doing. We've been shipping many features over the years and aimed at allowing community creators to receive a share of the rewards, and in the past, they've been received well. It's obvious now that this case is different." Well, at least they recognize the error of their ways and listen to their community. What are your thoughts, guys?
The way I see it, whether you liked the decision or you hated the decision, that is something that a company will almost never say. Those exact words, "we didn't know what we were doing." That is something that takes serious fucking balls as a
Cojones.
collective company to say. That's nuts, the fact that they said those exact words. And I gotta give them, like, love or hate Valve, which most people love them, that is fucking boss that they admitted to that, I gotta say. But overall, I just want to, because again, I missed out on my chance to argue the counterpoint here. It was pretty much all, I listened to the podcast, everybody kind of didn't like the idea. It was a good idea. I will concede it was very poorly executed in the sense that they didn't have the ability for $0 and up donations. You had to have a minimum of at least $1. So you couldn't say pay what you want or keep it free. So everybody agrees a donation button would be a much better approach.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I like this mod. Here's some dollars. I don't care how much. Just take money. You earned it. But I think honestly that the one thing that really they should not have done, and I don't know why they decided to do this, they decided to do it in Skyrim, one of the already most modded games on Earth. They decided to add sudden paid mod support. That's so dumb. Everybody's already getting them for free. Why would you piss off that collective? Wait for the next Elder Scrolls games, you idiots.
See, I believe that's because of the fact that the modding community is so large that they would get feedback quick. But like you said, the downside is they've already been getting it for free. You're changing how everything they've known runs, and yet you're just going to piss everybody off. Personally, I don't see this being as an end to the paid mods.
No.
I think they will be back. I feel they'll just implement them in future games, be like at release once they kind of figure out a better model for it.
I think the model is going to stay largely the same, except probably with the inclusion of a donate button. But I will say the way that they worded it was perfect for exactly what you just said. The way that they worded it exactly was, we underestimated the differences between our previously successful revenue sharing models and the addition of paid mods to Skyrim's workshop. Specifically, they made sure to include Skyrim's workshop. They didn't say any workshop or the Steam workshop, Skyrim's specifically, which tells me exactly what you were just saying. They will definitely be introducing this model into future games. And again, I'm okay with this because I want this to be a thing, but don't force it on a market that it was already getting free mods for free. Like, free mods for free. Getting mods for free, I should say, rather. That was just dumb as shit.
Do
Yeah,
you think it should be? Go ahead.
if they implement it on development of the game, that solves a lot of the problems that I was talking about last week's show, like piracy and stuff like that. If they install it, or if they work with a developer for this to be like, okay, paid mods are going to be a thing, that can help prevent piracy, and that can help. If you do it that way, it makes it more reasonable for the percentages and stuff, for the way that they had the money distributed, because they're going to have to actually put money into making a system where it works with the game like that. And yeah, and then you're in a market where the mods aren't already free, so paying a premium price to get a official mod or even an unofficial mod makes more sense than one where they're already free, and then you can just pirate it if somebody else already has it. And yeah.
See, I wasn't completely against the idea of paid mods, but it goes along with my same view for DLC. How much content are you providing to make it worth me buying this? Like, if you're just adding a couple skins here and there, I don't want to pay you $5-10 for that. No way. But I mean, if you're gonna give me, some, I don't know, decent content, give me more quests in Skyrim, give me a whole nother zone or dungeon or something to explore. Set up a whole new quest line versus one quest. Just, give me some content. What makes it valuable to me?
Well, the thing is, that's a subjective question that can be answered differently for every player. So you could say, where do you draw the line on what you decide is DLC you would pay for? Would you draw the line at 1 sword for $2? Would you draw the line at 10 swords for $2? What if it was 50 swords for $2? It's all a question of, at what point do you think that this mod is worth buying? And realistically, not all mods are going to be worth buying. There will be tons of mods on the workshop that are going to be completely not worth buying. But the fact that you can decide that yourself, that it won't matter if you choose not to buy it, to me, that just means the market's going to sort itself out. I have no question that once paid mods really comes into play for real, there's going to be a shit ton of cash grabs out there that aren't going to offer anything of real substance. But at the same time, there's still going to be mods out there that have earned the money that they're asking for. I don't know how many of you guys know my background, but in my college years, I did a shit ton of modding for Fallout 3.
I thought you were going to say meth.
Well, that's I mean, you need something to pass the time while you're modding, and meth just makes it all go.
I heard the and I like meth. I'm like, okay, well.
I feel like you
Go,
heard
please
what you wanted to
continue.
hear. So what does that say about what you think of me, guys? What does that say, guys?
Well,
Guys, think carefully about the next words, guys.
it means
I
that
mean-
I am accepting you regardless of your flaws.
And this is why
I mean,
love
you pet
guys.
the screen behind you all the time, hindsight, so I mean, you should be on something.
I mean, she can be whatever I want her to be, so there's no excuse for that. I mean, I can make this green screen
Oh,
anything.
that's true. I mean, that's very true. I mean, you could have we're not even going to go there.
But you started, so
Whatever floats your boat.
As I was saying, I did a shit ton of Fallout 3 modding, and actually some of my mods were super successful. Anyone who played Fallout 3 mods might have heard of Ghoulification, might have heard of what was the other big Craft community resource to allow fan-made tinkering. I spent a lot of time on those mods, and that was free time I could have spent doing other things. And people
Like meth.
assume that, like more meth. You're right. And instead, I could have been getting paid even just a little bit for my work. That's a big deal. I mean, I worked hard on those things, and if I got that money, I would spend it on more meth. So you guys just completely denied me my meth.
Full circle.
Way to run with it.
And now I'm short on meth, and look at me all sober by legal definitions. I mean, I'm drunk as fuck, but
If anything, for mods, I don't feel that they should be mandatory to pay. I just donation should be the way to go.
And
Because
well,
if I
here's
like
the
it
thing.
enough, I will donate.
But here's the thing. Some mods do earn the right to say, hey, this is worth $5. There are some mods that completely overhaul the game. There are some mods that make an entirely new game around the engine.
Right.
And you really don't think that those can be worth like $5 if people really like them?
That's something we kind of touched on last week, where we brought up the question of whether, how far does it have to go before it's, infringing upon individuals, claims and trademarks and so on and so forth, or potential to those rights. And because just like, even Valve brought it up in one of their is either Valve or Bethesda that mentioned, I'd have to pull it up in one of their commentaries. They mentioned, we had this happen in the past and it worked, and we want to implement the model that's closer to kind of what happened in the past, where we gave people the ropes and they made a game like Counter-Strike. They made a fucking game out of it, and so on and so forth. And now it's its own standalone title. They used it's kind of what we touched on last week too. But they specifically did mention a list of those titles, and I think it's good that they are pointing that out and recognizing that they do have a working model in place. It may be a little bit more simple than what they were expecting, a little less profitable for them, but it's still something that they could they can do and tweak.
Well, I like the idea of having the ability to choose whether you feel your mod is donation worthy or it's worth an actual flat rate. And
The only reason I see a paid mod, like a required paid mod for specific games, which is what I said last week, is to pay for like a licensing fee or something to use their content, to use
Why?
their engine.
why?
Why? Because some games copyright infringement. They're allowing you to use their content, their engine, versus you having to pay for it in the first place via mods.
I'm confused. You think
Okay, they're taking their with the paid mods, part of the price is being split up between Valve, the developer, yes, and the money going to the developer would be, say, like a licensing fee.
Oh, we did.
the
Yeah,
money
we did
going
say
to
that.
The
We talked about that last
developer,
week.
yeah, okay, so
That's the only reason I guess I see them being able to enforce paid mods, or I see them. I would much rather
being
pay
able
a
to
donation.
enforce. So you're telling me that you're saying being able to enforce paid mods, as if enforcement is absolutely necessary. For one, developers can still release free mods, or rather, I should say modders.
Were they offered the
Modders.
option during that? Were they
Yes,
offered the option to make it paid versus unpaid?
Of course. All of the mods had still had the option to be released as free. That was entirely within the modders' decision.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never a question of all mods are now required to cost something. That'd be freaking stupid. No, you could still make completely free mods. That was never taken away from the rights of the modders. And if it was, that would cause an uprising, the which no one would ever believe.
Okay, so something I want to do is, some of the things we've said are points we've made before, and I want to ask you guys directly, what type of system, and I know we've kind of touched on a little bit, but specifically directly, what type of system do you foresee that could potentially work for Valve, and what type of game would it be implementable in?
I would say Fallout 4 and/or the next Elder Scrolls game, whichever comes first, having the exact same model that they had before they removed it, with the inclusion of the option of donations. So what it would be is it can either be pay what you want, with $0 being an option, so completely free, or give them money. It could be a flat rate, or it could be free. That, in my opinion, would be the most successful model they could possibly do, and they were like 95% of the way there. But they were dumb enough to put it on a system that already had nothing but free mods flooding the market. If you'd get it from the get-go, when the game is first created, and states, now when you make your mods, you can either have it be free, have it be donation, or have it be a flat rate, I guarantee you, the community will love it, although they might still hate the 25% thing, so they really need to re-examine that rate. 25% is peanuts for doing all the work.
It's based on the developer. The developer chooses.
You're correct. It is. You're absolutely correct. It's based on the developer, but I think that that needs to be re-examined by the developer, Mr. Bethesda.
Yeah, that's such a. Yeah, that rate is just bad.
The only way I see it to make paid mods and for them to even survive on the market, it would have to be released with a game at release. And I still think it'll piss a lot of people off. However, that's the only way people are going to accept it, which is pretty much what we already said earlier. Because releasing it into a game that's already had free mods and has a huge, I guess, mod base, that's the wrong way to go.
Yeah, I'd say that if modders got if there were certain modders that the developer likes or has seen their previous content and let them in on the game before it was released and then release those mods with the game, I could see that being kind of a boon to the idea. I was gonna say that before he even said that. Like, it might get people more comfortable with the idea of like, this is an approved mod or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I can see it working in, like Highsight said, the same situation, as long as that's the model from the beginning and that's the understanding for the developer when they release a game. Like, make that a thing, you know, like, hey, we're gonna have mods and you can make paid mods, you know. And I think that if they did that, it will and they do it well, it will give us better variety and better quality with mods when modders can get paid for their content completely and avoid piracy and avoid all these problems that they were having. And yeah, I mean, it's just gonna have to be from the get-go. You can't release it in a market that's already flooded, like Isaac was saying. Yep.
So, in closing, I agree with each of you on the point that you're stating, that if it was to be released ahead of time, or if it's something that's announced, sort of ahead of time, that it will be included with the game in some way, shape, or form. And that's something that they acknowledged and was in the articles, that some of the articles here that we have, that it basically was just done out of the blue. Like, oh shit, all of a sudden, boom, paid mods. I don't care what it is that you're doing. There's very, very few things that you can do all of a sudden out of the blue without some type of warning. Doesn't matter what it is. So, I mean, especially, that's one of the reasons where, again, bringing in banking stuff to the cast here. Like, in banking, credit cards have so strict regulations now. There were things put into place, years ago, where if we're going to make a change, we have to let you know ahead of time. It's required by law. So I think that, it's because, companies would just change this, change that. All of a sudden, you got a late fee, and it's $1,000. There's nothing you can do about it. Now we have to let you know, and you have the right to say, okay, I'm okay with that, or I'm not okay with that. As
You've
an
already signed the deal.
Exactly. So anyway, moving on to our next topic, also with Valve, something that I'm a little excited about, as long as it doesn't get abused. Valve now lets developers permanently ban Steam users from a game. They've implemented a new game ban policy on Steam, and it does allow game developers to permanently ban Steam users from individual games. They announced this recently, and basically what it is that the game developer sends the information to Steam of what the name of who the user is, and Steam implements the ban. They're basically the security guard or the police, the enforcer. They enforce the ban. The developer initiates the ban, and that's how it works out. So it's solely and the game developer is solely responsible for the decision to apply it. So they could apply it really for any reason if they wanted to. That's why I say I'm concerned that it could potentially be abused, but overall, it's mostly for like those that are cheating or being, trash talking or something. And so it's not really that much different than having their own standalone title anyway, and they're making the decisions on it on their own platform. If it's through Steam, they're getting that control that way too. So I kind of like it. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think it's pretty cool. I kind of agree with it, but I'm wondering, with Killing Floor 2, they actually had that implemented in their end user license agreement, where if you actually read through it, in summary, it pretty much says, don't be a dick or we'll take the game away. And they've already banned a large number of users because of it. But I mean, to be able to have that power and to enforce a community to, I guess, encourage them to be good towards each other, I guess, and stop trolling the shit out of each other, then I think it's a good idea. I'm wondering how certain game developers are going to monitor this, though, unless they implement some sort of like a report system.
Yeah, I looked into it, and it seems like it's integrated into Steamworks. I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding about it. A lot of people believe that it's once you get banned from that game will literally not start up in Steam anymore. That's not the case. It acts like a secondary VAC, basically. So, for those who don't know what VAC is, the Valve anti-cheat system, when you get banned on VAC in any game that uses VAC, any game that uses VAC, period, you will not be able to enter their servers, period. But with this system, and once you're on that VAC ban list, you're on forever. There is no way off that list. Many have tried, it does not happen. Valve is very much 100% sure that list is, like, written by God's hand himself. Like, it is correct no matter what.
By Gaben's hand himself.
You can call me Gauze.
But with this system, it's built into Steamworks. So what that means is the developers, much like VAC, will be able to pick and choose what being banned from that system means. So if the game has a single-player component, you should still be able to access that. But more importantly, since this is a separate ban system from VAC, it also means that the appeal process is handled by the developers themselves.
Correct.
So that also means that you might have a chance of getting off that list if something was incorrectly flagged or something. So I like it. I think it's brilliant.
Well, I looked into it a little bit, and Norgoz was talking about it being misused or whatever, and that's probably not going to happen because how strict the developer is with their ban list can only be as strict as VAC, and so they're not going to hurt you more than being banned from VAC would be. Which, like, if you are banned from VAC, you can still play on non-VAC servers and stuff like that.
Good luck finding one of those.
Yeah, there's a couple.
All four of them.
All four of them.
And then
They're always full.
if the game does have an offline or single player component, they cannot prevent you from launching the game or playing it in offline mode. So, it's just a multiplayer ban, and I guess it's probably just a multiplayer ban equivalent to VAC for people that don't run VAC, and that's probably just going to be all it is.
I'd like to see if they're going to set up like an appeal system, though, because if VAC you can't get off of that whatsoever, I mean, you'd think this wouldn't be. It's almost the exact same thing, but how would they enforce? Like, how would they do an appeals? Should you have to contact the developers, or
Yes.
like I like that.
That would be done to the developer.
I like that, like League of Legends, they have like a tribunal, and it'll bring up like chat logs and different things for the specific games that the players were reported in. Players can vote on them, and then once the verdict is in, it goes to, like, if it's set to yes, do ban this person, or don't revoke, or guilty, non-guilty, innocent, it goes to I need to drink some more. Riot will then review it from there and make the final decision.
I can read something real quick from the Steam page about it. It says players should contact the game developer if they wish to appeal a game ban. Since the developer has the data describing why the ban occurred. If the player feels the game developer is being unreasonable, he or she should contact Steam support. If Valve determines that the game developer is abusing the ability to apply game bans, Valve can remove the ability for that developer to apply bans in the future.
There we
That's
go.
what they say.
See, I knew
So
there was
what that-
something like that.
What that tells me, though, is that, like I said, this is all speculation. I haven't seen the code, but from a programming standpoint, it sounds like all of the banning utility is completely within the developer's hand. Everything from banning someone to unbanning them to seeing why they were banned, all of it is in the developer's hands. So,
Correct.
if a programmer for the game so wished, they could easily use that data and those functions to create a tribunal system, much like League of Legends has, as you described. They could easily implement something like that. And that's kind of cool, really. It's like you're giving the building blocks to the developers to do whatever they want for multiplayer bans in a globalized, Steam centralized list. That's pretty brilliant.
Damien completely stole my thunder. I was gonna read from. I was gonna say that. I was gonna read. I was gonna say that that's exactly what you do. If you need to appeal, you do contact the game developer, and that's pretty much exactly what Damien read through there. So yeah, all of this information is on Steam in their Steam support section: home, Steam, account issues, Valve anti-cheat, VAC system, banned by game developer, in parentheses, game ban. There's an FAQ, and if you're concerned about it, you can kind of read through it. And one thing I guess I think that that we need to clarify is that we just were talking about developers for mods. Now, I don't want anybody to get confused when we're talking about, devs for mods. We're talking about devs for games. Now, there are some indie developers where there's like one or few people that are there, and that's the only places where I think I might be concerned with potential abuse. But, as Damien did quote the notes there, Valve can, because they're the enforcer, they can revoke those rights at any given point. So, as far as like most of the games on Steam or many of them are not indie games. They are games from, big name developers. So there are games where those big developers, they're not just going to ban you for no fucking reason. They're probably going to assign maybe they might not even assign somebody to do it. They might assign one person to kind of look at that kind of stuff. But overall, I don't know that it's going to be, a problem as far as the abuse goes. Now with all of those,
remind everyone, developers want you to play their games.
Exactly.
They don't look at your account and say, I don't like this fucker's eyes and his ass. No, they want you to play their games. Like, little developers aren't gonna abuse the system to ban you and then you'll never be able to come back, because for one thing, they're a little developer.
They're small.
They want exposure. They don't want fucking bans everywhere.
Excuse me. Thank you, the ghost of Highsight. We appreciate it. He's away from his microphone and we can't see him. The hell did he go?
I may or may not be in the bathroom.
He may or may not be in the bathroom. That's fantastic. That sounds like me prior to the show. Anyhow.
Yeah, but you have to like yell from the bathroom.
That's true. That's true.
Norgoz here. I'm over here. I'm over
Big
here.
ass headset cord for the win.
All right. I think we pretty much touched on all of our points here. I think we're safe to move on. What do we have here next? Oh, this is going to be all the feels, guys. All the feels. It's official. Silent Hills, emphasis on the S, is canceled. Sorry, folks. The recently announced
Motherfucker.
and much anticipated horror game, Silent Hills, is not happening. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, Damien.
No problem.
That
was beautifully mariachi-esque.
Yes, the new Silent Hill game has been announced last year through a playable teaser called PT, which actually stands for exactly that, playable teaser. It's coming down, if it's not already been down already, at the end of this week, which is today, or they might have already pulled it at this point. It is going to be pulled from the PlayStation Network. Go download it if you want to see what the potential was that it has. So there's a lot of this brings a lot of speculation to the table. Why is it that this happened? Because there were Konami and there's the whole Konami and Kojima thing, because Kojima's taken off. They were together involved with this, as well as the Norman Reedus's who was going to be the main character. His contract expired just prior to them announcing this, so it raises a lot of speculation about why exactly did they do this. So that's something I would like to start with. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, guys, you mentioned that it's still downloadable, but does anybody have access to this, or is it only specific people that had invites? Or I don't think it was granted.
Everyone can download it.
That's
There
interesting
was a brief
because
period of time where PT was available to everybody, but a lot of reviewers got it early.
okay, because what I read was that there are actually systems that have PE on them that people are selling online for up to like 1,500, or it was 1,500 or 15,000. There's give or take
You
a
gotta be
zero.
kidding me.
No, people are buying these just for Silent Hill PE. So I don't think everybody has access to this.
This isn't physical education, son.
Silent Hill, physical education.
It is though. You're busy running Forever. Always.
In the
Always.
No, hallway, rather.
Hallway. Okay. Yeah, one
Yeah.
hallway, you're right. Okay. It turns,
was a
though.
little-
To me,
you know,
it's
they say
different
Final
hallway.
Fantasy 13. They say that was the hallway simulator. Oh, were they wrong? But I will say that I believe it. Think about it. That game is now a piece of gaming history, and there's no physical copy of it. That's now a physical manifestation of the possible last major project Konami was working on before they decided not to be a gaming company anymore. Oh, spoiler alert, Konami's not going to be a gaming company anymore. Be ready for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here shortly as well, about what's happening with Konami. So, what any further thoughts on kind of why?
Generally speaking, it's I know why, but I want to get to the follow-up.
Well, I know
post
that,
about
but
this
I
to
mean,
talk
like,
about it.
in terms of, what are you? I mean, were you guys, sad
sad.
about this game? I know I'm totally sad. I'm totally
I'm
upset. I was looking forward to doing a scary Sunday with this fucking game, but not anymore. Totally not. I might do it with PT now that's all the rage nowadays with the kiddies. Maybe I'll do that. But I mean, why? Why would you do
Well,
this?
Konami has been doing nothing but shooting themselves in the foot lately, and
Oh, I agree.
I don't get why. It's literally they had the perfect opportunity for a smash hit here. PT was huge. Everybody in the gaming community was talking about it when it came out for a good reason. It had stellar graphics. It had perfect subtle fear. It had Norman Reedus. It had
Norman
I'm going to say
Reedus.
his name totally wrong. Del Toro. It had
Del
Del
Toro.
Toro. And the fact of the matter is, this was a home fucking run for them any way they fucking did it. And what did they do? Fuck it. We don't need it. Anger.
Follow up to what I said. When I said give or take a 0, it's a good thing I did. Some PlayStation 4 consoles with Silent Hill PT installed have been selling on eBay for as much as $1,800.
God damn.
So, yeah, no, and like you said, it could essentially become like a collector's item at this point, because it is the last of, it could be the end of Konami, the last thing that was out.
That actually could have, this demo could be, and the game could have been,
So if you have it, hold on to that console.
yeah,
Sell it 20 years.
No kidding.
20
I
years.
I give it like 10 years before somebody rips the data and puts it up just on the internet.
Probably right. You're probably completely right. But even still, with all that DRM you got to get through, that'll probably be a while. But it blows my mind, guys. It really does. I don't understand. I'll never understand what the fuck the president of Konami was thinking. But my understanding from, have you guys ever heard of Jimquisition, which is Jim Sterling?
Huh?
I think that's his name. Okay, well, there's this reviewer who used to work for.
Anybody heard of this obscure reviewer?
Oh,
Just
shit,
me?
he's not fucking obscure. He worked for The Escapist, and then he ended up doing YouTube shit. He's really fucking popular. But anyway, it doesn't
Free
matter.
plug.
Anyway, he talked about it back when he was working with Escapist, when being like a legit media dude. And apparently Konami did not know how to business, as he put it. And I believe that's the best way to put it. Konami does not know how to business because they would give review copies to reviewers like a week after release. They would, if they gave them review copies. If they gave the game a bad review, they would blackball them and never ever do business with them again, period. If yeah, right. And in addition, they did other stupid shit like what was it? Bottom line is, they did not know how to business. It was bad. I insist. Here's your plug. Look up Jimquisition Konami, and it'll all come to fruition. It's fucking retarded how stupid Konami is. It's a shame too, because it also happens to be one. It happened to be one of the better gaming studios in existence, despite its horrible structure. So it's a pity.
They have a very good list of titles that I had come to know and love, and I'm going to pull up that list right now because I don't know any of them offhand. Metal Gear.
All of these memorable classics that invade my mind at every moment must be on a list somewhere. Where is it? So I'll just go ahead and Metal Gear Solid.
Oh,
Silent
dude,
Hill.
Dance Dance Revolution.
the best one ever. Everybody knows this game. Contra.
Except me.
Contra.
Oh yes.
Contra. Oh my god,
There you
Contra. Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, or B, A. Start. Select start.
You were right the first time.
Yep.
But either way, what about the Yu-Gi-Oh series? What's going to happen to Yu-Gi-Oh video games now, ladies and gentlemen? Where will I get my Yu-Gi-Oh craze fix?
I will tell you, it's going to turn into a cartoon pornographic cult film.
I'm okay with this. Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so our next topic that we're all dying to get into is actually the feels from all of these other really old school games. You know, I'm sorry, I actually just type in Konami game list in Google, and you'll see all the lovely games from back in the day, and it'll all come.
Gone.
They made Turtles in Time, for God's sakes, guys.
They did.
Turtles in Time, may it rest in pieces. It was a beautiful fucking. All right, anyway, Konami, for all of you who are interested in, you know, diversification in your 401k, this is our stock, you know, and finance portion of the show. Konami delisted itself from the New York Stock Exchange. Oh dear. So on the 24th of April, they voluntarily delisted itself from New York Stock Exchange. Now, apparently this is something they notified investors of plans to delist back in November and filed the notice on April 1st, officially having it done on the 24th. Konami does note that 99.71% of the trading of the company's stock over the past year occurred in Japan and London, so they state that they're trying to save some money. It's about $5 million a year for them to list it on the New York Stock Exchange here in the U.S. So they state they're trying to cut back. However, with all of the choices that have been made recently, let's go. Be quiet. I'm trying to find my words. Yeah. So it does make one question. Are they delisting themselves? And I mean, if they've planned this since November, I mean, are they in fact moving in a different direction? Are they in fact having some business problems? You know, with Kojima, you know, making his final, you know, official move to wherever the hell he is or isn't going. You know, what does this mean for Kojima? I mean, for Konami.
They're trimming the fat.
Your thoughts?
You want to hear my giant conspiracy theory?
I actually am very interested in your giant conspiracy theory. Let's have at it.
Well, they knew since November they were removing themselves from the New York Stock Exchange. Now, think about this really carefully. In all of America, what is Konami known for? What is the only thing Konami is known for in all of America?
Oh, I thought you were going to say America. I was going to say we're known for eating and fucking.
Well, there's that, but what were they known for in America? I'll give you a hint. We talk about it every week.
Is this fucking Gamergate?
No, it's video games, you
They have games in the name.
They have games in the name.
There you go.
I was somewhat close, sort of.
In all of America, Konami is only known for video games. That's it. When you say Konami, you think video games in America. Well, apparently in Japan, Konami is also leader in a lot of health spa crap or whatever. So they knew since November that they were delisting themselves from America, where in the American market, the only thing Konami is known for is video games, which means to me this entire time they knew that they want to get the fuck out of the video game market for whatever fucking reason. And if I were to guess, Kojima didn't know about this until, I don't know, right around after PT was made.
So this is basically, this can go back to an example of where back we were talking about with Valve and the paid mods, they just implement all of a sudden, and boom, shit hits the fan. So you think that's the same thing with Kojima?
Very much so. I think Kojima had no idea that they were planning on moving away from video games, to the point where probably, if I were to guess, and this is all speculation, let me just remind everybody of that, Konami this whole fucking time was probably like, yeah, Kojima, just do your thing, whatever. What's that? Metal Gear Solid 5 has to be a two-parter now? Sure, whatever. Do what you want, bro. It's cool, whatever. Because they fucking knew, Kojima, we're stopping video game production. Sucks to be you, but whatever. So I think that, Kojima just kept doing his thing. He had no fucking idea. And then suddenly we find out Kojima's very disgruntled with Konami for some strange reason. Shortly after PT, we find out about this. And I think that's when the news dropped to him that, hey, you know what? All that work you've been doing doesn't fucking matter. Whenever it's done, which will be soon because we say so, we are completely dropping out of the video game market. We're moving on to our health spa crap. And you, sir, will be out of a job. So... yeah,
health spas, or do they make stuff for health spas?
One or the other. I remember looking into it more vividly before, but Konami.
Team Health Spa.
I want a Konami like spa resort thing. Go in.
Konami Health and Fitness Business. That's what they define themselves as a health and business fitness. Or sorry, health and fitness business. Wow, fitness and business.
I suddenly get flashbacks to Fight Club, where they're making the soap out of the fat from they find the dumpsters and shit, and I just picture them engraving Konami's logo into the soap and selling it to America.
Oh my god! But okay, so my conspiracy theory here is Kojima got a bomb dropped on him that he wasn't ready for, that nobody was ready for. And Konami is completely and totally and utterly moving away from video games altogether. The destruction of the American market is, in my opinion, the best sign of that. Thoughts on my crazy conspiracy theory that is probably completely true because I said it?
I mean, I can see the delisting kind of alluding towards that, and the fact that they're kind of not doing all that great in the video game market. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that you're right, because you're not.
But you want to.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you have something in you that is just not allowing you to say those words. Like, even though you know it, it's like, it's
probably
it's
a beer. Or logic. Probably logic.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I bet that they got a couple things that they're gonna try out before they would make that decision, and they might always just do small stuff on the side or something like that. But being an American, I don't know how successful their business is overseas with their business health spa. So I don't know.
I just want to know about the health spa. I want to see Konami's I want to see Konami engraved in the soap. I will buy that shit. I will put you know what? Put Konami on a rope. I mean, I'm just saying. Like I will.
Guys, admit it. You just want to see Solid Snake fight Contra Dude, don't you?
That's
That's all you want.
So is there a pun in there? Because we could totally go there. I just want to see Solid Snake fight against Konami. That's what I want to see.
Against Contra Dude.
No.
A la Fight Club.
No.
The basements. Okay, never mind. Horrible.
In true Fight Club fashion, I see where you're going. We've come full circle with the Fight Club analogy. I like it. And Cage looks anxious.
I did. Things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Konami's just pretty much going, we're not making any money over here in America. We're going to stick to our own, or the other countries instead. That's what I'm getting from it. I mean,
Look at you, Mr. Simple and easily wrapped up.
Wow. Ooh.
There wasn't any hint of a conspiracy theory in there. I don't like that.
Right. I'm
Too
just
simple.
taking it to see it. They're pulling a Sony. That's all it is. They're pulling a Sony. Trimming the fat. They're saying we're not making any money. Even though I think that Silent Hill would have made them quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
your hindsight is right.
definitely.
Thank you very much, Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, that's what Cage sounds off the mic when he's not using his mixer. That was very, very well done. Very well done, Highsight. Very well done indeed. See, that's anyway. All right, Cage is taking shots.
Attaboy.
Hindsight was right.
Oh yeah, it puts hair on your chest, doesn't it? It puts hair on your chest and deepens his voice.
Drink, and that makes me happy.
I just like how he had to drink before he said that. Like,
I'm gonna regret this later.
Hindsight has some good points. Look,
All right. Okay, so I mean, the one thing I do that I think we might want to touch on is the fact that wait, is this the right page? It's the right page. It's the right page. The company is going to be deregistered with the SEC effectively July 12th, and reporting obligations will be terminated on July 23rd. So, I don't know about any of you guys who knows about like all the regulations and whatnot when it comes to stock exchanging and having a public company or corporate company that's out there. But what?
Teach me, senpai.
Yes, I'm going to teach you the things that I know, and that is absolutely fucking nothing. I'm leading up to nothing. I have nothing in the back pocket that I've been pretending to have. I'm just wanted to throw out some fun facts about the fact that I think that actually though that they do have the opportunity of going back into the market. Fact check me, I'm probably wrong, but I believe that they do have the opportunity of going back into relisting themselves again prior to the deregistration being official with the SEC. So I do believe that they do have that opportunity. So maybe they'll go back. I mean, we'll see. But okay, so
Well, if you're one thing, I wouldn't anticipate them relisting themselves at least for a year, just to get an idea what their market, like what their changes are, if it really is a benefit or not to them to change. But yeah, just my 2 bits on that part.
I think that their marketing of their, that I think you might be right. Maybe they're going to wait for a year and see how they can market their spa stuff, and maybe they'll bring themselves back to the stock exchange next year with some.
Just bring their spa stuff here.
Exactly. I mean, we're America. We'll fucking eat and buy anything.
we don't like
we don't
fitness or
help.
health. You can't do
thank
that.
you, Damien. I didn't want to be the one to say it because then Cage would just be like, no, but yes, Damien, I agree.
Damien is right.
Hey, wait.
Woo! Woo! I got it.
Plus
Damien,
one
you got an
cognitive
approval
for
from
him.
2 out of 3 people. Guys, what's your problem? Approve, Damien.
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
prove
good
it me.
enough.
Right.
I
Okay.
think they would release Silent Hill prior to this though. One last hurrah.
Well, I mean, the question is how far in development were they with the game, and I don't know that anybody knows that. I mean, at least not publicly. I bet you though, soon or in the near future, there will be a leak, and we'll find out.
Oh yeah. No, there'll definitely be more information on this coming out sometime, but whether or not that's Highsight's conspiracy theory or if it's something completely different, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just going to say yes.
Anyway.
Highsight's conspiracy theory is
Yeah,
right.
Highsight's conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hindsight conspiracy theory is 100% Norgoz approved. Put a stamp on it.
Hey.
Done deal. No problem. I like it. I like it. I approve this message. I am Norgoz Blood Fury, and I approve this message. Anyway. Moving on. Next up, we have... Is this an official document that we've managed to confiscate here? Oh, this is... It is. It is. It
Who are
is.
you?
So, Mighty number 9 is a publisher. It is now going to be available as a retail and digital. Wait. I still don't understand this topic. I still don't understand it. Okay, so for an even mightier number 9, Deep Silver and Concept team. Concept team. To add more value. I misread that. I read this as Comcast. I'm like, wait a minute.
Comcast enters the gaming market. I will probably quit gaming forever.
I wouldn't support that company, that's for sure.
They
I
throttle
totally
your
misread this.
game.
Exactly. It goes.
Like, you
I,
can pay
You
us
guys can
enough
only
money.
get 20 FPS unless you pay us $50 a month.
Yeah, you gotta
I
pay
You get
premium.
25.
I did. I thought this was gonna go back to the whole net neutrality thing, and I
Oh,
thought
God.
this was gonna be a really good, interesting, fun discussion where
You didn't
Norgoz gets
read
to
this,
rage.
did you?
Here we
I
Here
did.
we are talking about people reading the notes, and Norgoz is like, "Yeah, Comcast. Yeah, sure."
I
Comcast,
swear I read this Comcast. Leave me alone. Look. I have one
It's
job
okay,
here, and
Norgoz,
that's
I
to
still
fail at
appreciate
hosting.
you.
Okay, I'm doing my job
I
right
notice
now.
you, senpai. I notice you.
Yes. So, Mighty Number 9. It's going to be available as a retail and digital version on the 15th of September in the Americas and 18th of September worldwide. And these two companies are announcing an upcoming Kickstarter of this game, which is created by KageUta. Now, I'm sure that Highsight will correct me on this. That's the father of Mega Man, guys. This is sort of a big deal. It looks interesting. It's going to be on multiple platforms. It's going to be on, let's see, Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, PC, Linux, as Mac, and digital only for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, as well as portables for PS Vita and Nintendo 3DS, and will follow later on. So this is actually seeming very interesting. The game itself, to just kind of give you some people like, wait, okay, Norgoz doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and I also don't understand what's really going on here. Tell me more about this game. So, it's a game about lots of shit that happens all at once. I'm really trying hard to pretend like I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I'm overselling myself just a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Okay, so it's a challenging side-scrolling action game. Is what they're marketing it as. It transforms a feel of 8 and 16-bit classics as players remember them into a fresh modern-day classic. You get to run. You have like in Mega Man. You'll jump. You'll blast. You can transform your way through. As they say that they're releasing 9 initial stages and 3 later. You play as Beck, the 9th in a line of powerful robots, kind of like Mega Man, and the only one not infected by a mysterious computer virus that calls mechanized creatures the world over to go berserk. So those are going to be kind of like the Mavericks, I guess. So I have not seen gameplay of this, yet, but it seems very interesting. They also have a Dr. White in the game as well. I wanted to mention that because you had, what was his name? Dr.
Light.
Dr. Light and Dr. White. Why couldn't we have a Dr. Black?
Racist.
I just went there. So it got dark all of a sudden. Anyway, so
Racist.
I know that you guys have read through it. I haven't been able to find gameplay of this. Are you guys looking forward to this as much as I am? I know Highsight's got something to
Apparently
say.
more than you. Okay.
I should have gave this one to Highsight. Be like, take off.
So this game this is being developed by the creator of Mega Man, as mentioned before, by guys who clearly read the notes. Congratulations.
He's like,
That's
here,
what I
you did one thing right.
Yay!
Thank you.
So-
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
So the reason this is being developed by the creator of Mega Man, and the reason it looks so fucking much like Mega Man, and literally the character looks like Mega Man. No one's gonna deny it except for the lawyers for this particular game. The reason it looks so much like Mega Man is because Capcom randomly decided, hey, you know what? We don't like Mega Man for some reason, so we're never making another Mega Man game. Period.
That was dumb.
Very dumb, because there's been high demand for a good Mega Man game for a long time now.
Mhm.
So the developer got pissed off, left Capcom, hit the Kickstarters, and guess how quickly Mighty Number 9 got approved and set up.
I'm gonna go with less than 30 minutes.
You're pretty much correct, actually. Of course, they hyped its all shit ahead of time. But the beauty of it, now they have complete creative freedom to do whatever the hell they want, as long as it's only infringing on copyright very carefully, which they did pretty carefully there. Like you said, it's pretty much the same plot as Mega Man X. But, instead of Mavericks, you have just infected robots. So it's kind of beautiful. He found a way around the system by making his own. And I'm kind of excited for the prospect. The gameplay footage I saw is very much Mega Man-esque like in speed and tightness of platforming, which is outstanding.
Ooh.
And it's got a team that has experience behind it. It's cool that Deep Silver, of all people, is going to be taking the publishing lead on this one. Initially, this was going to be a digital release only, but now you got a publisher. You can get some retail shit out there.
Hell yeah.
And I think it's cool. That means, think about it. This is the first Kickstarter game I've ever heard of. I'm sure there have been others, but it's the first one I've ever heard of that went from Kickstarter to a legitimate retail. That's neat. Physical retail, I should say.
I wouldn't expect anything less, though, out of this. I really, it shouldn't be any surprise, especially how quickly everybody hopped on board with this, that it would get that big. I'm excited for it. I'm looking at picking it up myself, so,
He said it. If that
Yeah.
would get that big. Oh.
Just so you know, the bad guy in Mighty Number 9, at least in the animated series that they're making, is Dr. Blackwell. So there you go, Norgoz.
Oh,
Yay!
Even I didn't know that.
There you go. Y'all was just looking into it, and it's like they have a animated series of like 24 episodes that they're making.
Nice!
So, yep.
Badass.
Yay! 26 episodes at 22 minutes with a target audience of children.
So you mean it's getting an animated series, much like another game about a fighting robot, Mega something or other, that ends up fighting another evil thing. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
with a
I
color
also,
name.
some kind of mega fighting robot of a man of sorts. I don't know, something like that. But what's cool is they are really fringing on this copyright as much as humanly possible. I mean, even the female robot that accompanies him looks just like Roll, just
Oh.
like her.
really does.
And she was sexy. She was sexy. She was my girl for the longest time. Then I had to move on to Lara Croft, who was more realistic.
Wasn't
I don't-
Roll kind of
Triangle
modeled
boobs.
after a 9-year-old?
I don't.
Look,
have
I was
nothing
young
good to say
back
to
then.
that.
I was very
We'll
young
move
back
on
then.
from that one.
Hindsight's blushing. Very much.
I'm blushing.
I have no shame. I was not that. Look, she was all woman when I was that
She was
age.
robot.
Okay,
He's a robot.
She was a robot.
I don't think
Was
you
the vacuum
understand.
cleaner in your house
You guys don't get
also
it.
All women, Norgoz?
You don't know.
Like
You
blonde
really
wig on the vacuum cleaner and
That's
just
what I just said.
apologies.
really look. This is not Short Circuit. Okay, you don't understand the realness. You've never been with a robot. Okay, how would you know? How would you know? You've never been with a robot woman. Okay, just
But the green screen begs to differ. We don't know what happens when the stream goes off.
hey, listen. I'm not doing stand up here. Stop doing the crickets. Okay.
Oh.
I can't help it.
It's appropriate.
There was actually an asshole in the audience that was doing that one night. I was like, really?
Oh, with the app? Yeah, that's
Yeah, with the app, they're playing the crickets. They're like, somebody hear a fucking cricket? Yeah.
gonna stop that motherfucker out.
So here's
Oh, jokes like that, I'm not surprised.
here's my thoughts. The concept is not the concept. The concept is, from what I'm reading and seeing about it, it's basically Mega Man. From like Hindsight saying, like it's they're going all over it. They're getting all up in there. They're getting all up in Roll's business, and they're taking it out and they're making her older and legal. It's at least I'm hoping. Anyway, so my
Well,
child
she's a
who
robot, so I don't know how much you have to worry about it. I guess.
Listen. Don't fuck with me and my robots, okay? But no, this is basically Mega Man. It really very much is Mega Man. Mega Man always has eight nemesis, like 8 enemies, main bosses, and then he'll have like a final stage where he's got to face off with whatever. And then, this is pretty much it. Anyway, all right. Moving on. Our next topic here, we've got. I swear I've read this one. Okay, I got. All right, I'm gonna go into. I'm sorry, I gotta stop pretending like I haven't because somebody's gonna actually believe this guy's fucking stupid. Oya, who I never really expected to be very much successful, to be honest with you. Oya reportedly is up for sale, looking to find a very quick buyer. They're the company behind the Android-powered micro console, and I gotta say, I was never really excited about it to begin with. I didn't really see the point. Thoughts?
Yeah, I never understood why people liked Ouya so much. It wasn't really a great. They got kickstarted so quickly. I don't think people knew what they had, but yeah, I knew it was doomed for failure.
What happened to that company in like China that was all hyped about using them?
Well, then they realized what it was, and then they said, "Oh, never mind."
Oh no.
Oh no, we don't want our name on that trash.
What were we thinking?
It's mostly indie games, right, on their download list and whatnot, and it's $100 for a console. So, I mean, you're trying to burst into a market where everybody has mostly reasonably priced consoles with gigantic game libraries, and you're putting forward indie games and stuff like that. I'm not really surprised that it didn't make a big hit. Because like a lot of these games you can play on any other console that you would already have. So
Yeah. I maintain that they really could have been successful. They just cheaped out on the specs. And if they didn't cheap out on the specs, literally when it was released, my phone that I had that was a year older than it had better specs than what was supposed to be a console.
Well, I don't see how. I mean, even with the specs going up, what's the point? We have tablets. We had tablets back then. I mean, I really never quite understood what the justification. I mean, who was the guy that went in to sell this? Must have really sold it really, really well, guy or girl, whoever it was. Or there was some obvious quid pro quo, some really, really good quid pro quo going on to get this marketed and out there. And they're rich as fuck now. Who gives a shit? But
Yeah. Well,
the
you said it was good marketing. There was. They made you feel like a hero for backing this thing. Let me give you an example. The box, literally, when you opened it up, there was a little leaflet in front of it, first and foremost, that you see that says, "Thank you for believing." They really tried to market this as you are the hero of the gaming scene if you back this project. And that was brilliant, I gotta say, because it worked.
well, Hindsight was saying that his old phone had better specs, but to be fair, if you buy a phone with a 2-year contract, that's like a $600 phone that you get for like 100 and whatever, and it is $100 system. So I get it, it's a phone, not a gaming system, but like I think like the new Samsungs or whatever, Galaxy, what are they on now?
S6 Edge now.
Six, yeah, those are like 600 $800, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that's they have good specs on them, even though they're not consoles. But I mean, without a 2-year contract with a company, that type of technology isn't cheap. And if you've seen the Ouya, it's small. I mean, they pack it in there. So
Oh, baby.
If I've read correctly, it's Android based, but they said the platform was built to be hacked, and I don't know a lot of companies that would want to get behind that. I mean, not being able to have support one type of game or whatever publisher. The fact that I don't know, it built to be hacked. Words.
Well,
yeah.
the reason it
Sure.
was built to be hacked is because, as you said, it's Android based. Android is open source, so basically they marketed it as something like, if you don't like the kernel that we provide for you, put any Android firmware on it. We don't give a fuck. It's your device, and
make your own.
yeah, and that's a good stance to have. But I maintain, and I understand the cost of it, but I say you should have just made it a slightly more expensive system and gotten the up-to-date video card for it, because all of the graphic systems in all of the games coming out at that time required those graphics cards.
What's stopping them from upgrading it though?
It's built in. It's literally soldered into the circuit board. Once it's made, it's
like
made.
a factory of like 100,000 of these or something just sitting around.
Yeah, pretty much. They can't be. Once they're soldered in, they're pretty much soldered in for life. You made a bad decision at market or rather at manufacturing, and that's gonna bite you in the ass.
Well, I think something that I'm not sure. I've been in the market for a tablet recently, and I've looked into the Shield tablet that before I didn't see the point in it at all. At all. I'm a PC gamer. I've got a phone. My phone can play all my games on my phone. Not a big deal. But I recently got to thinking about it. I could type on a tablet. All that good stuff. And this all leads up to the point where Shield just recently released a new Android device. That's a new Shield. It's actually cheaper than the tablet, and it also has the ability to play, video games, and it works on Android. So as I understand it, and I could be wrong, but it works in the Android interface, so you can actually also play all your phone games on it too. With something like this, I think this is an excellent idea. It's double the price of the Ouya. Ouya was originally released at $99 back in June of 2013. The Android Shield TV was released just, I think, last month, and no, I think it was in March, actually. And it was just released recently, and it has so many more features. It's got the Tegra X1 gaming chip in it, which is fucking powerful as shit. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up. The Shield tablet had the Tegra K1, which is still to this day is the best tablet chip on the market. I mean, minus the X1. The X1 is really the best one, but I don't think anything is out there with it yet that's a tablet. So, I mean, that's had a lot of extra features on it, and this is something that could work out well. And they package it with a a controller and a remote. You get a controller and a remote with it, so you're not just, I mean, the controller itself is that's a retail is like $60. They sell it as separately. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent price. I think that's what they should be doing with their Shield themselves. But something like this, I think, could be, has potential to do things. And I'm driving Cage to drink right now. I can see. So I'm gonna shut up and listen to you guys.
That's encouraging it.
Yes, I am.
So final thoughts before moving on.
Well, I just want to say with what you just said, you nailed on the one point I was talking about, the specs. And the reason that NVIDIA is able to make this lovely Shield TV device is simply because they don't have to worry about the cost of the graphics cards, because they make the fucking graphics cards.
Yep.
So obviously, NVIDIA, realistically, when you look at it, is the best company to be making this kind of Ouya-like product, because they can do it on the fucking cheap. So yeah, they're pretty much going to completely blow Ouya out of the market with this, and stomp on their grave, possibly dance a little bit, and then spit, and then piss, and then run away.
Just want a correction. Ouya's not in the market.
Very nice.
Well played, sir.
Well played, sir. All right. At this point, I believe we're going to be moving on as Highsight drinks his drink. I'm going to take this opportunity to move forward. Angry balls. His angry balls. I'll angry your balls in a minute. Next up, we have
Guys, you can never angry my balls.
many of you may know this already. ESPN actually aired some video game footage. ESPN2, for sports fans across the world, were treated not to NBA playoffs, not to baseball, not to hockey, but live footage of people playing Heroes of the Storm. And not just people, college students. That's right. Blizzard partnership with them on this venture, so to speak. ESPN aired the Heroes of the Dorm, where college students across the nation, different teams, would play against each other to determine who would get some type of scholarship. That aired. It was a few hours, wasn't it? I think Phyrus caught this live. Phyrus actually caught this live. I wish he could be here to say it live, but
It was
I guess
over 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah, I mean, the stakes are very real. I mean, it's a sponsored tournament for that, and penis.
Literally for your
Exciting.
livelihood.
For your livelihood, exactly. The future of your livelihood depends on this. If you lose this game, you lose everything.
Die in the game, die for real.
Thoughts?
I think it's really
yeah.
cool. Come on, let me
Go
go
on.
first. Even first
No,
every
go
single
on.
time.
Go on.
First
I'm
once.
just-
I was-
You're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
Don't discredit me.
Okay,
I'm drunk.
I think it's really cool. I hope that in the future that there will be a G4 that doesn't suck. Not G4, obviously, because G4 is not going to be a thing. So, but I can see a channel coming out that's a gaming channel that actually does gaming things and covers this, and maybe partners with YouTube or Twitch to show streams. Just saying, it would be pretty cool. A lot of people got really angry about this, and were upset that ESPN was doing gaming stuff, and screw you. And it's like a step in the direction of
Twitter was on a rampage about
Mm,
that.
the tears sustain me, sir. So tasty and salty.
Wow.
it's a step in the direction of professional gaming becoming more, respected and seen as like an actual thing.
It's a big
So-
step for esports, I think.
Absolutely.
Really big step
Yeah.
for esports. I mean, other companies or other countries were already showing other games like League of Legends on their their live media. League of Legends had multiple like sports networks already over here for the World Tournament. I don't know how Dota works, but I'm assuming it was probably had a similar turnout. I don't play Dota. I'm sorry. But I think it's a huge step for esports in terms of getting out there and getting recognized by the public than just the players.
Right. What I was trying to say, I guess, was with esports becoming more recognized and stuff like that, it opens the gap for a G4 type channel to actually exist and thrive if they produce content like that.
Well, wasn't that what G4 was before? And
No, G4 is garbage.
Yeah, it was.
If you're talking like old G4 before,
Yes.
or Tech TV or something like that, yeah.
correct.
Oh, I miss Tech
But-
TV. The feels.
I
Yeah,
used to
but when
watch, Portal, that was pretty good. Probably
What?
trash
When,
by today's standards, but
we
sorry,
go into the future and stuff where it becomes more of a legitimate thing and more of a something that casual people, normies, actually could watch, and it becomes like, okay, you're not a weirdo for watching that video game, I think that it makes it so that a channel like that could be more popular in the future. However, I would also argue that G4 just had crap management and produced poor content. So
What, you
that's
didn't
why
want to
they
watch
failed.
Cops for 5 hours?
No, I don't. the same 5 hours of Cops too that happened like 2 days ago.
Okay, how about 5 hours of Cheaters? How's that sound?
Ooh.
That's okay. I guess. Is this gaming television now? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Get Cheaters, the gamers version. Sweetheart, why is it that you're always playing World of Warcraft? I always got to get to this next level. As it pans over to the screen and shows, oh yes, you fucking like it when my night elf ears touch you softly, don't you? Boom, boom, boom. Next time on Cheaters.
You know, it's funny you joke about that, but I'm sure that is a legitimate, real thing that is happening somewhere in this wide world of ours.
Oh, it absolutely is. There is no question about that at all whatsoever. There's just something sexy about finding somebody in the game that you can cyber with to certain people. So, I mean, I'm sure that that's absolutely a thing.
That's how I met Norgoz. So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it was totally awkward. Like I shouted, ASL, big hunkin' barbarian warrior looking for some lovin', and Damien sent me a message, and the rest is history.
yep. Little did I know that he's got a stupid face. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Poor Damien, you got the raw end of that deal. I'm sorry, buddy.
I don't know.
No, I'm joking, I'm joking, Norgoz.
So some of the tweets that Cage mentioned are cited here, and these some of the favorite ones. I'm gonna mention. I'm gonna mention a few of them because there's so many of these. I just want to mention a couple. On the note of girl and guy interactions. Girl, bae, come over. Me. Can't. Video games are on ESPN too. Girl. But I'm home alone. Me. And... Question mark?
Boy, you shattered the fuck out of that performance. But games are on ESPN. Sorry.
So you're saying I needed to get into it a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. Girl.
Oh god, he's gone.
Hey!
No, guys.
Shh.
No, guys.
Shh, just let it
Will you
happen.
come over?
Faye, come
No,
over.
I
You're not
can't.
You're not gonna respond.
I can't.
I'm helping you out.
Vid-
I thought
vid-
we could go back and forth. But,
Video games are on ESPN too.
Okay.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it.
but I'm home alone, Norgoz.
And what? What? Games are on ESPN too. What do you want?
I don't. Yeah, I can't do this anymore, Norgoz. We
Bravo.
have children,
No.
and they can't just not have a father figure around. I need somebody who will support me, Norgoz, not just watch ESPN all day.
Jeez.
Bravo.
Wait. TLDR. Too long, didn't read. Okay, it was nice talking with you. You have a good day. I'll see you at some point. Games are on ESPN too. Bye bye.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
Exactly. So here, I'm gonna read a couple of that are just one-liners. You know, ESPN2 is a dark black hole at the moment. Turn it on and you'll never be able to leave. Quote, I can't believe ESPN2 is showing nerds play video games, end quote. Signed, the nerd who plays fantasy football. Can we all just take a moment to appreciate that the World of Warcraft Championship is on ESPN2 right now? ESPN2 is reporting on the pinnacle of athletic competition right now. Why is there a bunch of nerds playing video games on ESPN2? Are they really televising video games on ESPN2? Jeez. What has the world come to? Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And my personal favorite. I took the bait. Just turned on ESPN2. As someone whose face appears daily on the channel, I don't have answers. By Michelle Beadle. Or Beadley. I don't know how that is exactly.
I'm actually kind of upset that I missed it, just because I don't. When I play Heroes of the Storm, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know how you could shoutcast, like actually cast that and show. I don't know. I can't
Yeah,
follow it.
it's a thing. Like I know. I mean, you would think that for League of Legends as well, but I mean, it's somebody
Well,
manages
there's
to do it.
To me, I guess for League, it's there's a lot more going on. Character builds, focusing on last hits, gold leads, specific objectives. Versus, I guess I don't have enough experience in Heroes of the Storm where everybody shares the same experience. Gold is non-existent. You don't have items, so you're just going, all right, now this person's hitting this person, and oh, they got 100 skull lead. All right, here comes the golem, and they win.
Well, my
the big
first,
thing with,
Character builds.
yeah, there's character. There's no character
The
build.
skill trees, I
but
guess.
there's the kill streak. The traits.
Plus, the really big thing with Heroes of the Storm is all of their maps, which there are multiple maps, have a shit ton of different objectives, especially jungle objectives, such as like capturing a camp and having them fight for you and shit like that. So I would think you'd shoutcast mostly the objectives that are currently occurring, right?
You can. I did it a couple. The first few games I streamed, I thought I did a really good job. I was constantly talking about it and saying, this is the build that's going on here. This person's playing for this. Someone's walking behind Damien, and it's a thing that there's all you can see all the traits in the scoreboard now, and you can see who was close for takedowns because, as you mentioned, whoever gets the last count hit for takedowns, you still get credit as long as you're within like a certain. I think it's within a certain distance, or as long as you're still alive. I think it's within a certain distance though, where you have to actually partake. Anyway, it was exactly whatever Highsight just said sounds great to me.
Yeah, that
but
sounds great. Yep.
Whoa, that's two people saying Eyesight was right.
I said you sound good. I didn't say you were right.
I'll take it. I want approval.
I just picture a guy in the back of my head right now that's an auctioneer like, oh, we got top three, whoa, go on, jungle, 1, 2 in the mid, 2 in the mid, 2 in the middle, 3 in the middle, 3 in the middle, somebody else, Dragon Knight, sold! Kill those towers! Go. Yes,
Magic.
something like that. I believe we are going to be moving on to our final topic. Unless you guys had any final thoughts you want to throw up the air.
No, I'm attempting on Twitch. I'm attempting to cast your gameplay footage right now of Heroes of the Storm. I'm trying to see if it's even possible.
There's
Here comes Diablo riding in on his lizard mount. His lizard mount. Damn it. Both teams are clashing in top lane. Diablo goes for the kill on Tyrell. He escapes. He seems lost.
That's about all I'm getting out of this.
There is one thing on the 100 skull lead. Michelle also tweeted, "I once saw a team blow a 100 skull lead. Those men never recovered." Anyway, wait, we have a couple. Okay, so there's a violent shooter that's on our list this week that I'm going to bring up because it just looks fucking cool. It's Hatred. It's gonna be listed as it's gonna be released on June 1st. Correction. The Polish company announced today that they are gonna be released on actually June 1st. There's a new trailer that's released as well. And like its predecessor, it focuses on the central character's content for humanity. Did anybody actually look into this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let that go to you guys. Go ahead and go for it.
I'm gonna allow Damien, to take the
Oh,
lead on this one.
Take the reins, if you will.
I was just gonna say the game. Sorry. Oh my goodness. The game doesn't really look tasteful, but it's interesting, and the amount of drama that it's gotten and stirred up because it's like kill all these innocent people and all these cops and whatnot. Oh, sorry. I should probably explain. You kill a lot of innocent people and you kill a lot of cops and whatnot.
Plot explained.
You're basically a sociopath who just wants to see how many people you can kill. And it's an isometric view, and you run around like murdering people. So like the whole point of the game is to murder as many people as you can, and it's really twisted and really cynical. I think that the whole purpose of the game and the game design was just for the fact of trying to provoke people and to provoke criticism, just so that it can get publicity. And I think that they'll get a lot of people that just buy it because they want to check it out or because it's edgy or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't think I would play it personally, but I don't like murdering people mindlessly unless it's to take their money to buy a new car in GTA. So
Yeah, Damien fucking nailed it on the head right there. That's exactly all it is. It's just a shocker title. That's all it is. Movies do it, and now video games do it every now and then. And everybody knew that from the get-go. Literally, the trailer was nothing more than him talking, like the sociopath that you play as, talking about his manifesto of just killing everyone you can before you die, because fuck society. Literally, they're just trying to be as edgy as humanly possible. And I really think that's all that they got. Like, it's just, I watched the gameplay. It's a standard top-down shooter. Oh boy, run around, kill people, die, rinse, repeat. But here's the thing that's going to come of it. I guarantee you, Anita Sarkeesian, yep, here we go. This was the gamer game, ladies and gentlemen.
Son of a bitch!
Anita Sarkeesian, she's going to jump on this game when it comes out. She's going to make a video where she kills specifically just women, and then she's going to say, look at how this game is all about a male power fantasy, about killing as many women as you possibly can. Notice how the men run away while you catch up and kill women only, because this is all about male power fantasies, and male power fantasies are all about men feeling powerful in their fantasy worlds so that they can detriment women because male power fantasy, blah, 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 blah.
Over there.
She makes a shit ton of money, cash a fucking check. That is how it will go.
I thought we said we weren't going to talk about that. I just thought that we had an agreement.
We had a discussion about.
I mean,
what?
I tried to be a good person. I try to show up to the show.
All right.
Be nice, read the show notes, and then Highsight here just comes out and he just does that, and I don't know anymore.
Damien.
All right.
Take a drink.
Wait.
He's gone.
Okay.
Love you,
Okay.
Damien.
Let's do it then. Okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. We're getting close to the end of the show, but as a complete segue.
I have things to say about this. Like,
You're welcome, America.
Actually, no. We didn't talk about the ukulele yet, did we?
Hey,
Oh no, we didn't.
hey,
but
let me say something about hatred first.
Okay,
Well,
go
guys,
ahead.
geez,
please, Cage.
I may have been drinking, but I at least have,
He has
opinions and
thoughts.
stuff.
He has thoughts. Something. Go
Thoughts on
ahead. Go ahead.
occasion. The only thing I don't really care, like, hatred. I'm not against. Well, I'm not
What?
against the game getting released or anything, but I guess I'm upset that it's more fuel to the fire of the whole game. Video games are promoting violence,
Gamergate.
and this game, and well, not just in Gamergate, but just towards anybody. Just okay. Sorry.
What?
High
What's
sight's
going on?
distracting. If you're being distracted by high sight, raise your hand.
High sight, shut the fuck up. Raise your
I got
hand.
3,
Raise
4,
your
all
hand.
4 out of 4. Anyways, no, I just don't like that it potentially adds fuel to the fire for the argument that video games promote violence, and that's all this game is going to do.
Yep.
And yep, I don't
So
like that.
Shocker title.
Shocker title.
So what you're
Hits the fever.
so
Yep.
what you're saying is it's just there for show, and that's about it. It ain't got a lot of meat to the presentation. As a no, I'm gonna skip that. So you guys know what it's time for. We all know what it's time for, and if you don't know what it's time for, then fuck you. It's gonna happen
I don't know
anyway.
What time it is? I don't. What time?
You
what
don't-
are we doing?
It's a thing that we do every week that I'm afraid of doing this week, and it's called Guys in 60 Seconds. Does anybody other than me have a timer? I'm too busy getting sexted
do,
on my
but
phone
if
right
you
now
remember-
to.
Oh, I do. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna hold down this button on this lovely Fitbit, and then
Okay.
it's going to absolutely start a timer. And once that does, you go. Okay?
Whoa, hey, wait a sec, what the fuck?
It's happening. Ready?
Fancy
It's a
technology.
battery.
Ready?
It's
Ready?
dying. What's going on right now? What the hell?
Go.
What is it doing? Oh shit! Okay. Valve cancels paid mods for Skyrim. Well, that was pretty
That
quick.
didn't go well.
That yeah.
Timers-
Valve
Fucked up.
also.
Timer's fucked up.
Timer
it.
screwed up.
No!
Okay, no, I got
Doing
I
right.
got you.
Shut-
I got you, Norgoz. I got you. I
Shots
got you. One
fired.
second.
Shots fired.
Let me-
We can't
let me
even
let
see
it
that.
adjust. Let it adjust. It'll adjust. There you go.
This is a horrible. What is that? I can't even. What? Is that a
Timer.
Slide
It's
it
a
over.
timer. I see it.
There's
It's
some-
legit.
I see a
1
few
minute.
things. What the
Guys,
fuck?
go.
Okay. All right. Penis. Okay.
Oh,
Type-
I'm-
wait.
Fuck.
Whoa! Hey!
worry,
Don't
guys.
show boobies
Don't
on the stream.
Started, go.
Stop it. Okay. Timer. All right. Valve also now lets developers permanently ban Stream users from a game. Developers have full control over who gets banned. Steam enforces it. Gonna have to appeal through the developers, you assholes. It's official. Silent Hills is canceled. We're all upset about it. Download PT now if you haven't already. If it's still there, fucking do it. Konami delisted itself from the New York Stock Exchange. We all saw something happening with them. I was surprised it was a stock exchange, though. They're now selling healthy shit. Press release Mightier number 9 is coming out in the near future on the 15th of September in the Americas. Basically, it's Mega Man, but new. Oya! Reportedly up for sale, looking to buy it quickly. Who didn't see this coming? ESPN airs video games live on Heroes of the Dorm. Very, very cool shit. Violent shooter hatred. We all kind of agree it's all for show and the hose or something. There.
At least we can hear the noise because we couldn't see the timer.
I tried to keep
I
the
could
timer
see it
on.
mine. I can see it
God.
on mine.
It was cut off on the. It was cut off. The seconds.
I
were
was
cut.
Penis.
I was watching it while I was doing it, and on my screen I could see it. So.
Oh well, you know what? Your screen sucks, and that
Well, did you
will-
have me clicked, Cage? 'Cause they're gonna have me
No,
click it,
I was
it won't
watching
show
you
me.
live on the stream though.
Oh. Yeah,
Scientific.
if you don't have me
Moving on.
clicked, it won't do it. It won't do the thing.
So there's a thing that we got to do, and that is we're moving on to our question of the week. Now, if they hear the question of the week actually pertains to something that happened recently, Here are the 2015 World Video Game Hall of Fame finalists from Pong to Minecraft. Angry Birds, Doom, FIFA, The Legend of Zelda, Minecraft, The Oregon Trail. I played that when I was a young man. Pac-Man. I also played that when I was a young man. I still play that today with my mistress. Pokemon, Pong, The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, Space Invaders, Super Mario Bros., Tetris, and World of Warcraft. Who the hell put World of Warcraft on this list of games?
I
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to put Angry Birds on there.
Why not Flappy Bird? Exactly, right? So the question of the week is, with those in mind, what is your number one choice and why? Hi, so would you like to start us off?
Of course. I struggled with this one a little bit because I like a lot of those games. I really do. But for my childhood, I'd say it was pretty sharply between Sonic the Hedgehog and Doom. And given that Doom basically set the trend of first-person shooters, which to this day is still my favorite genre, first-person in general, my favorite genre, it's got to go to Doom, baby. Hail to the king. Wow, chief, what am I saying? But yeah, it saddens me that it's actually in 4th place right now. And you said who put World of Warcraft in that? It's actually in 3rd place. Can you believe that? But yeah, definitely Doom. How about you, Damien? What do you think?
Legend of Zelda. I've it's persisted through time. They make various improvements to the game, change the mechanics to make it still relevant and fresh. It's not overused like Mario Party 12 or like Mario Cooks or something like that. So other than like the CD-ROM games, it hasn't been abused all that much, and yet it's still a flagship title that everybody likes, and it's not Mario 12. Like whenever you get a new Zelda, you know the formula, but it's not the same as like if you were to buy a new Mario and you're like World 1-1. Yeah, okay, now we got a raccoon suit. That's cool. You know, so I'd say Zelda just because of its persistence, and I've always enjoyed the series. So, yep,
I can see that.
I guess for me it was a toss up just because there are some games I'm like, well, what games actually had like an impact on the gaming community or like set like a certain standard, and then I didn't follow any of that and I picked Sonic the Hedgehog. So but I for me it was mixed between Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and Legend of Zelda. Damien had a lot of good points for Legend of Zelda. I just appreciated for that every game was different. The story was always kind of different. It wasn't like Mario where it's just save the princess again or something like that. But for me, it's Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm upset that Sonic is like dead now. Doesn't exist. Well, it kind of exists occasionally, but no kids don't find interest in that anymore. But I still find myself.
It's funny. Apparently, it has a really good TV show now. I haven't watched it, but people rave about it.
The
See, I
live
used to
one?
game
watch
about
the
the
old
TV show.
cartoon. I
Wait,
love
wait,
the
wait,
old
which
cartoon.
one? Which one did you watch?
I don't remember. I just
Gotta have
remember
the chili
watching.
dogs.
No, that was the worst one.
Chili dogs.
I
No,
remember that
Freedom
one.
Fighters, Resistance, Sally Acorn kicking ass. It was so
I
good.
remember that too.
Hey, I do remember that.
That was
Oh,
a good one. Sonic Underground. That kicked
Sonic
ass.
Underground was cool.
I just remember watching Sonic. It didn't matter to me what kind of Sonic the Hedgehog it was. I just remember watching it, enjoying it. But the games were awesome, amazing to me. I enjoyed it way more than Super Mario Brothers.
Oh.
Especially as even like a platforming game, and the music is so freaking catchy. I still listen to Sonic the Hedgehog music.
Amen, brother.
So it's that, I don't know. I'd say that one. Sonic the Hedgehog would be my vote for the 2015 World Video Game Hall of Fame.
You know, something I should have done, and I did mean to do. I've had a lot of personal things that I've had to do this week, and I didn't get to sit down. I have horrible time management this week. It's my own fault. What I'm leading up to saying is I should have looked into this a little bit more to determine, how often. I mean, do they, do they do this every year? And there's only one game. Like, they do this every year. Is it periodically? Do you guys know this? I don't mean to put you on the spot and make you look any less informed than I am.
Honestly, I gotta say I hadn't even heard about this until I read about it. And as
Me
far
either.
as my understanding goes, the only thing I know about it is it has 2015 in it, which tells me it's probably a yearly thing.
It's
I
probably
didn't
an
know anything
annually
about
thing.
it.
I tell you
But I
what.
assume that they cultivate different things for the list every year. So anything you see that doesn't make it this year may not be in the next one.
Look, I'm gonna let y'all finish, but I just gotta say that Beyonce should have been the #1 pick.
Amen.
And you know, that's all we have to say about that. I don't know. I have to say, I agree with Kate. Who the fuck put Angry Birds in here? I mean, yeah, I mean from Angry Birds, it kind of changed, and I'm not gonna go through all of them, but Angry Birds did change the way we did phone, gaming a lot as far as like mobile games. Who doesn't know fucking Angry Birds? Who hasn't picked up a phone or a tablet and tried that stupid little fucking Angry Birds thing? You smash through fucking pigs and what the hell ever. They've got spin-offs with Star Wars and stuff. I mean,
Right?
that is actually kind of fun. Everyone in America has probably picked up at least one time while you're taking a shit and pulled that little launcher back and shot a fucking Angry Bird in the air. It's just fun. But
See, Cage is going crazy over there, but you gotta admit, Cage, you gotta
I
admit,
lost. I dropped
branding
something, okay?
everywhere.
dropped-
Yeah, sure,
he-
you dropped something. That's what it was.
he dropped. Are you saying you dropped the man card that you stole from me? Is that what, or the gamer card that you stole from me, or something? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, well, let's go with that. Sure.
Okay,
Whatever
all right,
you-
we'll go with that.
Norgoz is right.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Wow.
whoa,
Congrats.
whoa! Holy
Congrats,
shit!
guys. He
That
said
happens like once a never. So I mean, looking at all of them, I would say that my pick, and this is something that I don't know why it's not already in the Hall of Fame, is the Super Mario Brothers. Why is it not already there? I mean, it did change. As far as like what type of, what did it have on an impact on? I mean, I know we have to talk about the original game itself, but the Super Mario Brothers, it developed into a series that did have a big impact. It became one of the forefront runners for Nintendo products as far as Nintendo games go. It spanned off into all these other freaking side things. Mario this, Mario that, Mario Duck Hunt, Mario
Still the
Kart,
Top
Mario
priced
Party,
franchise.
Mario Dick in the Box, all kinds of just random shit.
Is that like a
That-
Jack
Well,
in the
I'm
Box?
gonna make you feel a little bit
What
better
if
about
Mario's dick
this.
when you...
Given the fact that Pong is in the running, and the fact that Pong isn't actually in the Hall of Fame already,
I agree.
and the fact that I'm looking into About, I want to say that this is the first time they've ever done this. Which
I was
makes
gonna
me
say, I
that-
think it's one of the first few.
Right, because let's face it. No, you can say all you want about Mario. Mario kicks ass. You can say all you want about Zelda. Zelda kicks ass. But Pong was literally what started
That's-
home video gaming.
Yes, it was the
Period.
first one.
It was. It was the thing that kickstarted the arcade revolution and got people at home playing on consoles. So, I got a feeling that this must be like the first one they're doing.
It's gotta be. They don't even have a Wikipedia page.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, they got
Well, I
all
mean,
these
I know
random
who they are.
titles.
This is actually for anyone who hasn't heard of this place. It's called the National Museum of Play, and this actually located in New York. I've been there before for a games innovation conference.
Mm.
It is an amazing museum. If you're ever in New York, look up the Strong National Museum of Play and just go there. It's so much fun. They've got literally the history of play. I'm not talking about just video games. I'm talking about board games. I'm talking about back before when they had those little, hoops that you would push with sticks as a kid. When they had those freaking dolls that you just played with back in ancient Mayan times. It's literally a museum dedicated to human play, about humans enjoying just the act of playing, and it's really intriguing. And they had an amazing conference there talking about innovations in gaming, and I had such a great time. And most importantly, they have a kick-ass arcade with one of my favorite games of all times in it, Road Blasters. And
Oh.
that's like my favorite arcade game of all time, Road Blasters. And I gotta say, if you like video games, just go check out this museum. It's completely free to walk right in if you want. Just have fun. That's all I'm saying. Have fun.
I like this idea. I do, and I agree. Pong started every. Pac-Man was not too far after that. Pac-Man was a huge thing. There were so many people that was Pac-Man one of the first like world tournaments or not world tournaments, but like widespread tournaments of who can get the highest score. Was it that
right
Pac-Man?
there with Donkey Kong. It was like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong were the two really big ones. Like, have you ever heard of King of Kong? That's actually a documentary about trying to reach the highest score possible.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, document for it. There's there's a lot of good titles on here. Space Invaders. I mean, they did well with putting some really solid old school titles in there. Like, Pac-Man was a great arcade game. Space Invaders was a huge arcade game. I still, to this day, love Space Invaders. I bought Space Invaders when it was re-released for was it the Super Nintendo? And I think it was basically just Space Invaders with color, if I remember right. And it was still fucking fun. It was still awesome. So I mean, they have a decent listing. They just I don't know why all the widespread. I guess. I mean, maybe you might want to break them up into categories or something, but
maybe like a yearly thing. Like, hey, this year these games came out. Which ones did you think define that year?
And then, of course, they could have their own
gonna...
section for ancient ones.
Right.
They said they're gonna keep these like as like actually in the museum or something like that. So
I'd believe it.
Oh,
With
right,
how they
yeah.
were set up when I got there, I could see them having like an entire wing to like that era, and then like at the pedestal, it would be like Mario, the king of this era.
Right. I'm just saying they might not want to just get like 10 categories to start with, and then just every year get 10 more. It might that adds up pretty fast.
It does. It does.
I want to wrap this up with a final comment here that the final the final wizard, you're a wizard, Harry. The final winners are going to be chosen by a selection committee of journalists, scholars, and other individuals familiar with the history of video games and their role in society, and will be announced during a ceremony at the museum on Thursday, June 4th at 10:30 a.m. So, if you want, you actually can vote on these, and we'll include a link to this article where you can actually, vote if you would like to see who's the, what game's the most popular. But at this time, I believe that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to cover today. I wanted to thank all of you guys for coming out and supporting us and me while I guest host and try to not fail on guest hosting and yet still manage to fail like I do every other stream that I do. So, thanks for putting up with us. We'll see you again next week. Nakiato will be back, not next week, but the following week. May something
16th.
or other. 16th? Is it the 16th? Okay, fantastic. That's perfect. But so until then, come back and see us again next week. And shout out to Phyrus, who couldn't make it with us this week. Hopefully we'll be able to see him again on next Saturday as well. This is Norgoz signing off. Have a great evening.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, and again, thank you. This was the Heroes Hideout, Episode 10. Good night.